Prepare to be amazed by these unbelievable stories that are actually true. What if I told you an army once declared war on birds, and lost, or that a whole town danced until people started dying? Every story you're about to hear is 100% real. We dug deep into history to find the wildest, most mind-blowing events ever recorded. Today we're counting down 10 real stories that sound too insane to be true. From exploding whales to ghost ships and impossible survival tales, each one is crazier than the last. Get ready. Your view of history is about to be shattered. Let's jump in with one of the most ridiculous military campaigns ever. First up, the Great Mu War, a story so unbelievable it sounds like a joke, but it's absolutely true. In 1932, desperate to protect their wheat crops from destruction, Australia sent actual soldiers armed with machine guns to Western Australia. Their enemy? Emus, giant, flightless birds that had invaded the farmland in massive flocks. The plan seemed simple: use military force for an easy victory over the birds, but what happened next was anything but simple. The emus proved to be surprisingly fast and clever. They outran trucks, dodged bullets with ease, and some even acted as lookouts, warning the rest of the flock about danger. Despite firing thousands of rounds, the soldiers managed to kill only a handful of emus. The birds seemed almost invincible, slipping away into the bush. The emus would scatter at the first sign of trouble, then regroup and return, always staying one step ahead of the military's efforts. Newspapers across Australia had a field day, mocking the army's failure. Politicians even joked about awarding medals to the emus for their bravery. After nearly a month of frustration and embarrassment, the military finally gave up. The emus had won the war, leaving the soldiers to retreat in defeat. Later, the government tried offering bounties for emus, which proved more effective than machine guns. Still, the legend of the Emu War lives on as one of history's most bizarre battles. It's a lasting reminder: never underestimate your opponent, especially if it's a giant, determined bird. Sometimes nature finds a way to win, no matter the odds. And sometimes, history is just so absurd, you can't help but laugh at it. Now let's turn the page to the next wild and unexpected chapter in history. Picture this: Strasbourg, 1518. A bustling city, unaware of the bizarre event about to unfold. A woman named Frau Trophea steps into the street and starts dancing. She can't stop. Her movements are frantic, almost as if she's in a trance. Days pass and dozens join her. The streets are filled with people dancing uncontrollably, as if possessed by an unseen force. Within a month, 400 people are dancing uncontrollably, their feet bleeding, unable to rest. The scene is chaotic and terrifying. Authorities, baffled, decide to let them dance it out, hiring musicians and building a stage. They hope this will somehow cure the afflicted. The result? More join, and people start dying from exhaustion and heart attacks. The death toll rises alarmingly. At its peak, up to 15 people died every day. The city is gripped by fear and confusion. Historians still debate the cause: mass hysteria, toxic mold, or something else. Theories abound, but none are conclusive. The dancing plague eventually faded, leaving survivors traumatized. The city slowly returns to normal, but the scars remain. To this day, no one knows exactly why it happened. The mystery endures, baffling experts and lay people alike. It remains one of history's strangest medical mysteries, a bizarre chapter that defies explanation. Sometimes the truth is just bizarre. Reality can be stranger than fiction. Ready for something even messier? Hold on to your seats. Let's talk about raining whale blubber. You won't believe this one. Florence, Oregon, 1970. A massive dead whale washes ashore, drawing crowds of curious onlookers and baffled city officials. The stench quickly becomes overwhelming, and the town is desperate for a solution. The solution? Blow it up with dynamite. Local authorities, unsure how to dispose of such a huge animal, decide that a controlled explosion is the best way to get rid of the problem. The plan: blast it into tiny pieces for seagulls to eat. Officials hope the birds will clean up the remains, leaving the beach spotless and the townspeople relieved. The reality: a massive explosion sends car-sized chunks of blubber raining down on the town, far beyond what anyone expected. The force of the blast is both shocking and terrifying. One chunk crushes a brand new car half a mile away. The smell, unbearable. Residents run for cover as oily whale bits splatter the streets and parking lots. The seagulls, nowhere to be found. The cleanup, a nightmare. Instead of feasting, the birds avoid the mess, leaving humans to deal with the aftermath. The footage is legendary and disgusting. News cameras capture the chaos, and the story quickly becomes infamous across the country. It's a classic case of good intentions gone hilariously wrong. The event becomes a cautionary tale, retold for decades as a lesson in unexpected consequences. Sometimes, the simplest solution is not the best. What seemed like a quick fix turned into a legendary disaster. And sometimes, you just end up with raining whale guts. The town would never forget the day blubber fell from the sky. Let's move from exploding whales to surviving the impossible. Meet the man who survived 2 atomic bombs. Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived both atomic bombings, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, in 1945. He was in Hiroshima for work when the first bomb hit, suffering severe burns but surviving. He returned home to Nagasaki, only to experience the second bombing days later. Miraculously, he survived again, with only minor additional injuries. Yamaguchi lived to 93, becoming a symbol of resilience and a vocal advocate for peace. His story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Sometimes, reality is more incredible than fiction. Now let's talk about a flood of beer. Yes, really, the London beer flood is next. London, 1814. A giant beer vat bursts at Moo Brewery, unleashing a 15-foot wave of porter into the streets. Over 320,000 gallons flood the neighborhood, destroying homes and trapping families. 8 people die, most of them women and children living in basement apartments. The aftermath is chaos. Beer everywhere, rumors of people scooping it up in pots. The brewery nearly goes bankrupt, but Parliament bails them out. The disaster is ruled an act of God. The London beer flood remains one of history's strangest tragedies. Sometimes the unthinkable really happens, but what about a disaster with no warning at all? Next, the mysterious explosion that flattened a forest, the Tunguska event. Let's go to Siberia. June 30th, 1908, Siberia. A massive explosion 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima flattens 80 million trees. The blast is felt for hundreds of miles, but there's no crater, just scorched earth and felled trees. Scientists believe a small asteroid or comet exploded in the atmosphere, vaporizing before impact. If it had hit a city, millions could have died. The Tunguska event is a chilling reminder. Earth is in a cosmic shooting gallery. Theories abound, but the mystery endures. Sometimes we're just lucky. Now, from cosmic mysteries to a haunting disappearance. The Solder children vanished without a trace. Here's what happened. Christmas Eve, 1945. The Solder family home in West Virginia burns down. 5 children are never found. Strange events, a missing ladder, dead phone lines, trucks that won't start. No remains are found in the ashes, just questions. The parents suspect foul play, recalling threats and suspicious strangers. A private investigator uncovers bizarre clues, including a fake heart buried in the ashes. The Solders never give up, posting billboards and chasing leads for decades. A mysterious photo arrives years later, possibly showing their missing son. The children are never found. The case remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Sometimes the truth is lost forever. Next up, the ultimate ghost ship, the Mary Celeste. 1. The Mary Celeste is found adrift in the Atlantic, intact, cargo untouched, but the crew vanished. Food is on the table, belongings left behind, and the lifeboat is missing. No signs of struggle, no theft, no explanation. Theories range from pirates to sea monsters, to a freak accident with the ship's cargo. Most likely the crew abandoned ship fearing an explosion, only to be lost at sea. The mystery inspired stories and legends for generations. The truth? Still unknown. Some mysteries are never solved. But, what if someone appears out of nowhere? Meet Caspar Hauser, the boy with no past. His story is next. And 1828, Nuremberg. A teenage boy, Caspar Hauser, appears in the town square, barely able to speak with no memory of his past. He claims to have lived his whole life in a dark cell, isolated from the world. His story captivates Europe, Was he a lost prince or a clever imposter? He's adopted, but his life is filled with strange incidents and attempts on his life. In 1833, he's fatally stabbed under mysterious circumstances. To this day, his true identity remains a mystery. Was he royalty or a fraud? The debate continues. Some stories have no answers, but some disasters leave a sticky legacy. The Great Boston Molasses Flood is next. Boston, 1919. A massive molasses tank bursts, unleashing a 25-foot wave of sticky syrup through the city's north end. The wave destroys buildings, traps people and animals, and kills 21. Rescuers struggle through waist-deep molasses for days. The cleanup takes weeks and the smell lingers for decades. The disaster leads to new safety regulations and one of the first class-action lawsuits in U.S. history. It's a bizarre, tragic reminder of the dangers of corporate negligence. Sometimes the weirdest disasters have the biggest impact. History is stranger than fiction. Ready for more? Let's wrap up with a quick recap. Which story blew your mind? 10 stories, each more unbelievable than the last. From bird wars to molasses tsunamis, history is wilder than fiction. Which story shocked you most? Let us know in the comments. Got another crazy true story? Share it below. We might feature it next time. Thanks for watching. So Andri Dio, wanted stakredans, tender debts for sikrizipis dapper, and so kinder doer guru, afu dander dakcher venendinan and dep so hit the bell for more mind-blowing content. We're just getting started. See you in the next one.